Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Sitter. So last week I sat there and stayed on the Queen Mary for one night, and then we got on board to Carnival, Radiance. The Queen Mary, most people sit there and say, oh, it's haunted or whatever. Um, I really didn't experience that. My shop has more paranormal activity than I thought the Queen Mary had. Great place to stay. Definitely historical. That's for sure. Queen Mary was bigger than the Titanic. It was built 20 years after the Titanic was built. Definitely looks a lot like the Titanic. I want to talk about the craps table. So I've been on the Carnival Inspiration and the Carnival Imagination, and they no longer have either one of those ships. But both of those ships had the same craps table. It was made of a kind of like something you'd think a tennis court would have on the table. It wasn't bouncy. It rolled fantastic. You threw your dice and they would just kind of stick. So I was very curious on, if both of those ships had those tables, well, then of course you'd think that all the other ships would be equipped with that type of table. And it was not. Um, I got there, the casino wasn't open, and touched it, felt it, and you could almost roll a bubble in the layout just by putting your hands, rubbing your hands across it. It wasn't bouncy, but it wasn't. It was almost on the verge of being a little bit too bouncy and super super crowded. From the moment that the craps table opened until they closed it, it was a busy table. It would take so long for the dice to go around the table. I finally found a spot and I got there, so it should have, I should have been next to roll, but being that I didn't have any bets the last time, it got passed. There was a guy that was playing, went right directly to him. He was playing stick right one. He did hit the small and did it within like 7 rolls. And I tried to get the table energy going, and it seemed to work pretty well. And he was only one away from hitting the tall. And I also had money down for the dealers. The dealers were nice. They were thankful that that they had money on the table for them. And then the next morning, the table opened up at 10:30. I got there to where my spot. Um, Oddly enough, there was a couple that opened up the craps table with over $1,000. And when you come to the craps table with $1,000, you'd almost think that you know what you're doing. 2 rolls, 7 out. The husband took the dice, 2 rolls, 7 out. So you can't always judge people by their bankroll of how well they're going to do. My biggest thing is, and this was made on Casino Tiers. A bigger bankroll doesn't mean you're better. Whatever your bankroll normally is, if you sit there and say, you know what, I show up at the table with $500, I challenge you, I challenge you to do half of that and then walk away from the table when you're up by 25% more than what your bankroll started with. My thing is, if you come in bankroll at, say, 10 grand, if you gave me 10 grand to play on the slot machines, I guarantee you that I could sit there and give you a 25% profit. In fact, I really wouldn't even be worried about my bankroll until I probably got down to 3 grand. I would definitely go to the high limit room. I would definitely be doing like $200 spins, $250 spins, because I know that it would just take one good spin and that would put you up beyond where you wanted to be at. And if that machine didn't pay out within a couple thousand, go to another one. When you're playing $200 or $300 a spin, most of the time, I won't say always, but most of the time, you will get some sort of bonus and it will sit there and keep you riding. But if you were to give me $100 and sit there and say, before you go down to zero, I want to see you have $125 bankroll, that would be very difficult. I would have to pick my machines wisely. I would have to pick which denom very, very wisely. I'd have to pick how much I'm spending extremely wisely. Because once it's up, it's up. When you can do more with less, it's because you're a better player. When you have to start off with a bigger amount, you're not that good of a player. I went last year into a slot tournament with only $1,200. I think I took third or fifth, something like that, and I only started with 1,200. That's all the money I had. Busy week. A lot of times your money gets ended up into capital because it takes money to make money, and that's all I had. I knew which machines would hopefully pay me out. I knew what I could bet, and I knew how much I could kind of count on to take 1,200, get a bonus, and have that ride me out throughout the weekend, and it did. If I had more, I would not have been playing that carefully. If I had more, I would have taken more risk, more chances, and I probably would have ended up losing more. My challenge to you is do that. If your bankroll's 1,000, do it for 500 and sit there and say, I've got to sit there and make a profit total of 25% of what my bankroll starting was. It's easy to do, but you have to be smart. You have to be smart when other people are rolling. You have to be fully dedicated when you're rolling, because not only are you watching how you roll, you have to worry about making your money last and count. That right there shows you a better player. When you have a bigger bankroll, you tend to be more sloppy. When you have less of a bankroll, you have to be a good player. How easy it is to do with anything: craps, blackjack, slots, bigger bankroll. You're playing for more money. Of course, hopefully you're going to win more, but there will be those times that you won't. And that extra money is insurance that you didn't win this one, but you're going to definitely win the next one. But I think that, draw a line in the sand. I'm going to sit there and try to do this. It was my favorite thing to do to walk into Ellis on a Friday night or Thursday night and sit there and take $500. And most of the time, I would get there just as they were opening up my favorite table. That table now is gone. And take my $500 and do a profit of $700 to $800 on my roll, and starting only with 500. No, I did not have a lot of money on the table, but I made each and every dollar count. I made each and every bet count. I made sure that I sat there and hit a tall or a small. Most of the time, I never got both of them. I would sit there and know that I'm going to start off with the Iron Cross, and I'm going to slowly build myself up. Because if I tried to sit there and ram it, I know that that $500 would be gone. That's my challenges to you. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do it, how to take half of what you normally do and make sure you come out with a profit. 25% profit, that's not bad. That's time to do something else. Sit there and watch the game that's on. Sit there and have some drinks with some friends, whatever it might be. But a 25% profit on your bankroll, it's time to sit there and mark it down. Yeah, that was a good day. That doesn't mean return back and and lose it, that means, okay, I did this. And tomorrow I'm going to come back and do the same thing. Most of us rely on a bigger bankroll because we all make mistakes. So stay tuned for this video and see what you think. Let me know if you're up for that challenge. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. When other people are rolling and I have my money on a all tall small, I definitely sit there and use the pass line. If I don't have my money on a bonus, the all tall small, I do not use this pass line. I use this pass line as a hedge. It is a hedge against losing your all tall small when the point is being thrown and somebody hits a 7. If I don't have the all tall small, most of the time I avoid this pass line. A lot of people always play the pass line. If you always play the pass line, you will lose half of the time. I guarantee it. Another thing I do is if I'm not playing the pass line, or maybe if I am playing the pass line, I will sit there no matter what the point might be. 6 or 8, doesn't matter. I'll sit there and put $30 on 6 and 8. Wait 2 rolls, wait 3 rolls, wait 5 rolls. If it hits, I'll sit there and double it up. I'll sit there and say, hey, you know, double that up. But definitely on somebody I've never seen before, they're not setting the dice. This is not something I would write out. If you've seen them before and you're like, you know what, they seem to be doing well, it might be something you want to write out. That's not a problem. Another good bet, and this is one that I really like, is you do a $50 don't. If you want to hedge this, you can. If you're going to hedge it, I would also hedge it for midnight as well, so that your hedging, when it goes away, you won't lose that hedging. So at least if you're going to hedge, at least hit cover 12 with at least $1, and that will win you $30. So whatever you're hedging with, that should come back to you, because a midnight would knock out your hedging. So $50 on the don't. You sit there and make it to the point. You sit there and you put $30 on the 6 and 8, and you wait for one of those to hit. And when one of those hits, you give them $3. And what they're going to do is they're going to sit there and add two more bets to this and 2 more bets to that. If you just give them $3. Now I sit there and wait for it to hit one more time, 6 or 8, doesn't matter. And when it hits, I take it down. Once you take these down, it's completely up to you whether or not you want to sit there and take down your don't pass. That's what's so cool about the don't. It's because when the puck is on, if you don't want this here, you can always take it down. However, when your money's on the pass line, it's a contracted bet. When the puck is eliminated, you cannot take down this bet. It must stay. And then when I'm rolling and I'm trying my hardest to do a low bet that's going to give me profit at the end, and again, we're only looking for 25% profit, is I would do, like the Iron Cross. You don't have to have 25. If this is a $25 table, that's what you'd have to do. But if you're only with a $10 table or a $15 table, you can easily do 15 on the field, You say, Jeff, I don't like the field. I think it's a sucker bet. Take your 15 bucks and move it to the 9. If it's a $25 table, then you're going to have to do that. The only downside to doing this is you have this number here. You also have an 11, and you also have midnight. So those three numbers plus these three numbers, which are going to be 2, 3, and 4, are going to be dead holes. So basically, when those are rolled, you won't get any money. That's why I like the Iron Cross so much. Yes, I do know you have to cover your field when you hit a 6, 8, or 5. But a dead hole is not fun to hit either. What you could do is play it this way, and this is with you rolling. And when you get a hit on one of these, you're going to sit there and take what they're going to give you, and you're going to move it to the 10. And then now, any of these hit, you're going to sit there and move what they give you back, the casino, and now you have everything here. So you're still missing 11 and 12, 2 and 3. But how frequently do those roll? It all depends upon your dice set and the table. I tend to get more than normal. My favorite dice set would be a 2-1-1-2 or an all 7 set. And with the 2-1-1-2, you will roll a lot of these numbers and these numbers. I don't know if you can see those numbers because I have my camera. You might not be able to see those numbers, but 2-1-1-2. So when you throw it, if it lands good, you'll end up with 3s. You'll end up with yo's. You'll end up with yo's. You'll end up with 3s. If it should move slightly, you're going to sit there and end up with a 4. Don't want that. If you have an all 7 set, most of the time you'll get 1 to move, and you'll end up with high numbers. 4, 5, 9, and 10. So who's up for the challenge? Leave me a comment. Let me know if next time you go out, you sit there and say, Jeff, I'm going to take you on that challenge. And tell me what it is. My normal bet is, my normal bankroll is 1,000. I'll do it one time for you, and I'm going to go half. I'm going to do 500, and my goal is 25% profit overall. And then I'm going to sit there and walk away. It will make you think about every single bet you make. It will make you think about every single roller that you put money on the table for. Because no longer do you have this this funnel and this big hammer that you're trying to pound money through. It's a completely different system. It's a completely different way of thinking. But think about it. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are. If you did that just one night, and you normally go to the casino, say Saturday and Sunday, if you did that just for one day, you'd almost have enough for 3 days. If you split up your bankroll between 2 days, you'd almost get a free day out of that bankroll if you split whatever your bankroll is and leave when you're at a profit of 25%. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think. Thanks for watching.